Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we are going to make banana chews that taste like candy.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show.
Welcome back to the show. We've got a great recipe for you today, especially if you're trying to kick your addiction to sugar. We are making banana chews. It's something that we used to get from Trader Joe's. They come in a package and it's like smushed bananas, but they don't always have them. And it's incredibly simple and you can do this at home very easily. But I am also going to show you a few different ways that you can kick it up a notch if you especially have a sweet tooth. So I have 5 bananas here. You can do as many bananas as you want. But I just this is how many bananas I have right now at the ripeness that you need them at. You need them to be pretty speckled, kind of brown spotty, but not much more than this. Less than what you would use for banana bread. You know, when they get really kind of mushy. You want them to still have a little bit of firmness to them. You can do the mushy ones too, but they stay together better if you use them at this point. All right, so we're just gonna peel them. And I have a couple dehydrator trays here. I have the screen underneath, and I also have, I don't know what these papers are called, but it's for liquidy type of things so that they don't get smushed into the screen. So what we're gonna do first, I'm just gonna place it on my screen here, and I'm gonna place it kind of with the curve down. And I'm just gonna start smushing it. And you could do this, you know, you could put another piece of this on top, but they kind of just squish out. They don't get the uniform squish that you need. So I'm kind of squishing it down, but also keeping it still in that banana shape so that it doesn't just fall apart. And when it dries, it stays together as this piece like this. Okay, so you're just going to continue to do that with the rest of your bananas. Another way that you can do this, so I'm going to do a few bananas just plain, and then we're going to do a couple with cinnamon on it, because that's another really delicious way to eat these. And you want to put the cinnamon on first so that it really gets like baked in there. If you put them on later, if you sprinkle cinnamon on later, it's not going to stick to it. So this is the point you want to put your cinnamon on there. So wipe that off. So I've just got some regular ground cinnamon here, and we're just going to sprinkle it on. If you really like cinnamon, you can just go crazy on this one. Okay, so I'm going to finish out the sheet, and then we're going to stick them into the dehydrator. Now the dehydrating part, if you are a raw foodist, kind of the rule is that if it's under 115 degrees, if you cook them at 115 degrees or less, they still have all of the nutrients intact and it still qualifies as a raw food. But if you don't really care about that stuff, you can, you know, ramp up your dehydrator to a higher temperature and it will dry much quicker. But I'm going to show you at 115. So we're just going to stick it in the dehydrator at 115 for 12 hours. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share with you some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our new Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting members. By becoming a supporting member, you gain access to great member perks like monthly product giveaways, free downloads of our ebooks, and access to our in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. We create this show for the hundreds of thousands of viewers just like you who tune in each month from all over the world to make it easy for everyone to live a plant-based lifestyle. So if you love our content, please join us on our mission and become a supporting member today by following the link in the description. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so our bananas are out, and after the 12 hours, I flipped that piece of non-stick sheet over onto the wire mesh that was underneath it, and then I peeled that piece of paper off and just put these straight onto here, and I dehydrated them for another 6 hours so that they get a little bit more dry. They're still really flexible, you know, they're not so hard that they're just gonna crack. So those are finished. If you want to come in and take a look so that you can see them close up. Super delicious. So now I'm going to show you how to make a delicious chocolate spread. My husband loves this. He's a chocoholic. I'm a chocoholic too, but he's probably a bit more of a chocoholic than me. He thinks that with the chocolate on there, they taste like Charleston chews. I don't know if I've ever had a Charleston chew, but he says they have that kind of marshmallowy flavor, and then it's covered in chocolate. So, oh, what could be better, right? So I'm going to show you how to make that chocolate spread here. So what I have, I've got 3/4 of a cup of pitted dates, 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, and we're going to do just about a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, just a little bit, and then 1/3 of a cup of water. And I just have my NutriBullet here. You can use a Magic Bullet the same. This probably is a little bit too big, but my little cup is just dirty right now, so we're gonna use the big one. But before I mix this, I wanted to give a shout out to Katrina's little son. He's a 6-year-old and his name is Nick, and he loves the show. So hi Nick, I hope you're watching today. Okay, so let's mix this up. We're just gonna mix this until it's super, super creamy, and it might take a couple times of scraping it down and getting it to mix, but just mix it until it's creamy. Okay, it's still a little bit chunky, so we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna scrape it down off the sides a little bit, just to get some of that off the sides. And we're gonna keep mixing. And you could always add a little bit more liquid, but then your spread is not going to be very thick. It's going to be a little bit runny. And then when you eat your Charleston chew, it's going to be a mess. So we're just going to keep blending. Okay, there we go. Nice creamy sauce. I'll scrape that out of the bottom. There you go. If you can see that, it's just super creamy. All right, I'm gonna get a plate and I'm gonna bring this to the table, and I'm gonna show you a couple other really cool ways that you can eat these and enjoy them. So I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay, now it's my favorite time. We get to taste them. So this is the original, right? Which I prefer. I really like them just plain, but this is the way my husband likes to eat it, with a little bit of the chocolate spread on there. The combination. It's so chewy and rich, and then you get a chocolate hit on top of that. So I think to top that off, even make it even more special, because I used to be a Snickers bar lover. Sprinkle some chopped nuts. These are just chopped pecans, but you could use chopped peanuts. There's your candy bar right there. Or just some peanut butter. Put a little peanut butter on here. You have a really, really amazing, satisfying snack, maybe in the afternoon. Yum. So be sure to give this a like, guys, and I'll see you next week for another great video.